Okay there, guys. Welcome to the next match today. Boundary Experts versus Northern Coalition, and we have, I guess, Shield versus Armor again. Oh, talk us through it.
Yeah, so we see that Destoya, Avery Lewis, rounding out that Lashak core. Meanwhile, on the NC Dot side, we have, good old autocannon Slepners, just the Minmatar rush composition, the kind of similar rush composition that we saw in the Alliance Opens. But because Lokis were banned, they just said, hey, instead of, long range webs, we're going to bring long range scrams in the form of broadswords.
Exactly, and that's the strength of the Sleipnir over the Nighthawks. Nighthawks require application help. Sleipnir just require an extra bit of reach to grab things with a scram. So the broadswords work really well, and they also provide about 500 DPS each, if not more, depending how you fit it. So they are not a slouch on their own in terms of DPS, and they are rushing in.
Yeah, we already see those rocket jackdaws of Crutana burning across the field, trying to get initial tackle onto something, and it looks like they're getting towards the Bolshak core, burning past that, possibly wanting to go for the Oniros. The Oniros
Pounding
not caught by
blackbirds.
anything, but Broadsword's burning after it already. Meanwhile, the Blackbird of Total Ownage um, getting hit pretty hard.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get rid of one of these blackbirds at the moment. I'm seeing Jackdaw currently on. Is that actually a rocket jackdaw out of curiosity? I didn't
Yeah,
actually
these
check
are
that.
all rocket jackdaws we see for NC Dot.
And even better, the Jackdaw of a Twitterni is currently in Sharpshooter. I don't think the enemy team realizes this. That could be a free kill.
Yeah, so we do see
But
a
yeah,
scram on top of that Oneros from a broadsword, but this Oneros is just afterburning, which isn't at all affected by scrams. So this Oneros is managing to mitigate damage and pull away the broadswords, but God's apples will be taking damage rather shortly here as we see broadswords catching up, we see jackdaws catching up, and Sleipnirs that are kind of strung across the field, wanting to get on top of him.
yeah, trying to see if some of these guys got caught. Actually, weird enough, the Stormbringer is like a mile away, just trying to kill, I guess, drones. I was expecting him to be a hard tackle for this comp, but he just doesn't care.
Yeah, Stormbringers, having been recently upgraded to hit 10 targets instead of five, are, a fairly cheap pick for all of, 6 points to clear off a lot of drones. But DB Blue dropping
Oof.
into low armor, and now popping. Not sure how much reps he was catching from his two Kieran buddies.
I don't think much at all. Unfortunately, he was being held down by a vengeance and being shot at by a Lashak there. So he got like that's the problem with this comp is they rushed in. Now they're being a bit separated. They're trying to pick on some targets, but at the moment they're kind of scattered. Like I see a Sleipnir shooting, I think the Yonira. Someone else is shooting the Blackbird. There's a Magus being beaten down somewhere. Like they're scattered in every direction, and they're not versing a Zarmads here. They can actually repair all these. So at this moment they're kind of scattered. They've got no direction at the moment.
Yeah, so Roxanne and Radikos had gotten on top of Enviri and had just pulled Enviri way off of the core of boundary experts. And we see that Enviri, is absolutely now getting demolished for it. The Kirins are trying to apply reps, but I mean, there's only so much you can do against a pair of Lashaks that are just railing on you at zero.
Yeah, like this comp, I don't know. Like the one of the strength of the Slipknees is that they do really well together. You can put out like thousands of DPS and just rip things to shreds. But they've scattered and they've not. Like, actually, looks like they're finally getting near us. So never mind. Ignore what I'm saying. The nearest is about to pop, but they will maybe take it down for the cost of two Sleipnirs. I'm not sure I'd be the one wanting to pay that price.
Yeah, I'd have to tend to agree with you. It's a pretty steep price, and I mean that's one of the issues that you have with broadswords and Sleipnirs is you have to close to range, and that is exactly where Lashaks are happy to fight you. Lashaks dream of being able to spool up to well over 2,000 damage and just slam you in the face at 0 kilometers.
Yeah, Leshak's kind of taken over that role from the Sleipnir. Right? That's what Sleipnir's old school play. But now he's being. I think he's being held down, or is he free? No, Kurtz is pretty free at the moment. Never mind. At the moment I say that, a web hits him.
Yeah, we do
Broadswords are picking on
see a
something.
bit of. There was initially a grapple from one of the Lashaks, but Kurtz is slipping that, but he's unfortunately not really catching reps. Um, one of the Kieran's now being tackled. Um, I would like maybe, if the Sleipnir's just going to burn away, feel free to just break the Kieran's.
I like the broadsword of Jamal Werewolf just going absolute big ball mode and just going, I'm going to tackle this Leshak from within like 10k and start shooting it. And he's just sitting there, just shooting him and just daring him to shoot back. And I love it. Looks like he's trying to move on now. He's been grappled. feel like the Leshak's finally taken notice and decided to force him away. Well, Vengeance
Ye-
gets destroyed.
Yeah, Vengeance is breaking. I mean, Jackdaws are not the most tanky of ships, but I mean, combined in the sharpshooter mode, they do around 1,500 damage. All three of them told, and I mean that's more than enough to just chew through Vengeances, chew through Blackbirds, chew through Amagus.
I'm wondering if they can kill off the support wing here and just run. Will they actually win on points here? I think they can probably get away with it if they leave those Leshaks alone, nothing else.
Yeah, they absolutely can. I mean, we're seeing that Roxanne is having a cloud of Reptirones on top of him, and we see that Roxanne's holding down one of the Kirans, and Jackdaw is now basically breaking that free. So they will lose a Kieran, but they'll trade that for one of the Logi. And now the Magus is being absolutely sat on, by autocannons. Um, like you were alluding to, I think at this point, if you're in Northern Coalition in shoes, you try to probably just DPS trade. You're basically even on points. You're going to have to kill one of these Leshaks. You're not going to be able to run away when one of your broadswords being webbed and nuded. You have to commit and try to outtrade at this point.
Yeah, I'm currently seeing where the Sleipnir's trying to go. Look at the Sleipnir is actually burning back into the fight. So they're going to try and brawl down a Leshak with a Sleipnir and two broadswords plus three jackdaws of missiles. That is a big play, and never mind, broadsword immediately gets deleted for his trouble there. And I like how the Sleipnir turns away, goes, maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, Colonel Kurtz had been able to reload his ancillary shield booster from when he was a primary earlier. He's used a couple of those charges right now, and he's going to have to, survive long enough on those ancil boosts to basically break Destoya. But I mean, if Destoya is a double rep Lashak at this point, and
There's no
Colonel Kurtz
chance, yeah.
breaks, he may be able to just live to win for the rest of the match.
Yep, and Hertz is trying to run away. Like he's got a boost out of that range. I think he's just about out of range, a little bit more. Oh,
Yeah, I
there's
mean,
his shield boost. Look at that. Whoomph.
yeah, Kurtz is nuded and he was being grappled. So what he's going to try to do is, something pretty intelligent here. He's going to try to, reload his ancillary shield booster, and then when it comes back on reload, he can recommit and maybe try to engage with something like barrage. But with the point situation right now being what it is, down 15 points with 3 minutes left, you have to kill a Shack. Breaking the Blackbird and the Stormbringer isn't enough. Speaking of things getting broke, Instinct Luette is down into low shield, and I can't help but feel like Boundary Experts is going to take this one.
Oh, that's just not looking good at every step. But yeah, that Lashak is now going to be holding. I don't think Lashak is even trying to like tank at this point. He's just kind of letting himself stay there. He's at no risk now. I think that at this point, there's nothing that Northern Coalition can do. They have been outplayed, sir.
Yeah, Colonel Kurtz, did burn away to get that ancillary shield boost off, which was, good presence from mind. We see, he's chewing through charges right now, but I mean, Destoya, this is almost certainly some sort of a double rep fit, is surviving very comfortably right now.
I'm also surprised the Jackdaws didn't try to take out the Blackbird earlier on while they had this big brawl going on. I guess they were committed to holding Lashaks down, but at this point, like the Blackbird stayed to the end of the match, just being an absolute nuisance. As yeah, unfortunately, that Slepton does indeed go down. That's their last chance. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Northern Coalition being kind of the tournament team that had been, top four, but as had been alluded to by the desk, one of the corporations, Shiva, that had made them, kind of the powerhouse that they were, and Nudespar being the team captain, is no longer with them, and I think we're seeing some of that at play here with kind of a new, more green roster that doesn't have the tournament experience going up against some XPL and some Thera players that have a little bit more tournament experience and background.
Nope. Well, luckily the Blackbird did indeed get killed. So for all those people like me who hate ECM, you're welcome. But these Jackals are trying to live to win now. There's nothing they can do here. They're going to try their best. They're going to maybe try and do some tricky boundary stuff, but there's nothing they can do against Twin Lashak. Even with the Stormbringer would be an impossible task.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a mop up at this point, just trying to chew through these jackdaws. His Blankachella is doing, an absolute hero work keeping up Crucifier. in the Jackdaw. That's, not confusing at all, the username. Um, but he will die finally. Nalek now being primaried. GFs in local, both teams being respectful and very sportsmanlike as we get into the last 20 seconds of the match here.
I don't know, man. Sportsman-like and ECM don't tend to go well for me, but it has been a great match for sure. They definitely pushed it, but I just think I don't know, like they kind of scattered. I mean, obviously the desk we'll talk about a bit more, but I feel like they scattered too hard at the start trying to get tackle on things. If you're rushing, your strength is in your ability to do massive damage on one target.
Yeah, I mean, as you were saying, Boundary Experts did a very good job at using their vengeances to kind of pick apart and hold those Sleipnirs away from that Oneros. When the Oneros survived long enough to trade out for two Sleipnirs, that's not a good trade. We'll leave it to the death to break that one down, though.